Hey everybody, it's Mark again. I hope everybody's enjoying my videos. Hope you're learning things, because that's why I create these videos. Um, my mistakes, my knowledge passed on to you. A lot of people ask how often you have to service a cuckoo clock, and I tell people all the time it depends on several things. A, depends on the environment of your house and how clean you keep it. With my clocks in my house, because I don't clean that well, it's like every 3 or 4 years I have to service my cuckoo clocks. It depends on whether you have pets in your house. It depends on the weather at your house, in your location. Humidity, rain, etc. You might have to service them more often. Well, I gave a cuckoo clock to each of my sisters that lived in this area for Christmas about 4 years ago. And I was over my oldest sister still lives in this area, and I was over at her house a few days ago, and I noticed that her cuckoo clock wasn't running. I'm like, how come your clock's not running? She stops it right before bedtime and then starts it again when they wake up at that same time frame. She never moves the hands. So because I was there, and the reason why she stops it, because her husband is a light sleeper and he doesn't want to hear it cuckoo. And anyway, while I was there, I went ahead and tried to start her clock by rotating the hand, grabbing it in the middle, not at the tip, because I tell you, if you grab it at the tip, you can't break the hands. And grabbing it in the middle, and I noticed right away that the hand was weak and ended up breaking. So today I took a set of hands over there for what I thought was going to be a simple hand replacement. Kick back, relax, and hopefully I can do a short video here. I'm not going to show you everything, but kick back, relax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink, grab something to smoke if you choose to do so, and let's look at this clock. It is what is known as an after the hunt musical one-day cuckoo clock. It's called an after the hunt because the rabbit has got a rope tied around its leg, and the pheasant should be hanging upside down also. It's just that it wasn't. And so the animals have been shot, and that's why it's called an after a hunt cuckoo clock. The horn, as you saw, is supposed to be detachable. You never want to glue those things, because of shipping, packing, what have you, you don't want to glue these things into place because they will break off on you. The same thing with the antlers. You never want to glue them in place, even though I think this one is. But anyway, it's a musical cuckoo clock. And my sister cleans house all the frickin' time. You could almost eat off of her floors. But she does have cats, and she used to have a dog, and I'm sorry her dog passed away after like 14 years. And it's a little dusty on top, but I want to show you the movement. Do you see how many cobwebs are in this thing? Spiders, bugs, etc. will get inside these clocks because of the way they're designed. So you might have to dust them out, clean them out more often than every 3 to 4 years. But the reason why I brought it home, because I put the hands on, went to set the hands, and did you see that? I'll do it again. This is the only bellow that's working. This bellow has quit working. So while I have it here, I'm going to take the bellow out, fix it. I'm going to take the movement out, blow all that crap off, um, take my air compressor to it, re-oil the movement. I'm not going to show you all that, but I just wanted to show you. And her house is, like I said, she cleans all the time. Her house is really clean. Her husband likes to clean house. She likes to clean house. They don't have children other than their animals, and it will get dirty. No matter how much you clean, it will get dirty. So anyway, I'm going to take the bellow out. I'm going to repair the bellow. Hopefully I can repair the bellow. If not, I'm going to be recovering the bellow. Take the movement out. So we'll get back to you after I'm all done. I have plenty of videos to show you how to take a movement apart. Michael Anderson shows you how to take movements apart. Cheryl Adair shows you how to take movements apart, put them back together, how to oil them. I've got plenty of videos on that, so I don't want to bore you with all that details. I will tell you that this clock was made in the 60s. And the reason why I say it was made in the 60s, because the movement has got 25 and no date code. And so besides regular 70, 71, and 72 movements made in the 1970, they started with a date code, either the letter A for 1970, and it was good for 20 years. So 1970, 1990, 2010 would be the letter A, or they used a 2-digit year. And if it doesn't have a date code, and because it's a rack and snail type movement, these things came out in the 1960s per all the information that I know of. And so anyway, there might be a date on the door that says exactly when it was made. No date on the door. So other than that, unless you got a receipt in your hand, you may never know exactly when this thing was made. So I got the bellow out, and as you can see, it's ripped. And mainly because it's ripped, because the way the lift lever, it's the way the bellow fits in the clock. And the wire puts pressure on that side more than it does this side. If they would have put the wire up front, it would have went straight up and down, but they put it over here, so it is what it is. And because curiosity killed the cat, I'm going to put a hinge on this, and then, because I want to know whether I could do it or not, I'm going to glue a piece of Tyvek right here. I'm going to cut a diamond out and glue a piece of Tyvek right there and see if I can fix it. Okay, for the people who thought I was nuts and said I was going to patch a hole, I'll give you partial credit. The original material, the super glue wouldn't stick. Even I cleaned the where the hinge goes, and the super glue wouldn't stick to the original material, so I had to take it all off. However, for the people who thought I could do it, after I got it all on, I accidentally cut a slit right here. And so I took a piece of Tyvek, and you should be able to see there's a cutout section right here. And I glued it on. And I also put that eye bolt in the front where it needed to go in the first place. So I'm going to let that clamp for a while, because a piece of Tyvek material that I chose, somehow it got wrinkled in my container. So I'm gonna clamp this for a little bit. And I don't have the proper clamps like just Mike has readily available because my desk is a mess. I've had way too much stuff going on. And so I've mainly been worried about my kitchen floor, which I got it temporary fixed. When I say temporarily, it's standby. I ran out of material, and I wanted to box the stairs in so that way this section of the wall is concrete, and there's a small hole over there where mice can get in. So I wanted to box these stairs in, but I ran out of laminated flooring, so I used the scrap material that I had. And believe it or not, after I put this flooring in, I didn't have that much scrap material left. That's how well I calculated it, I guess, or got lucky. But anyway, I wanted to box the stairs in so mice don't get into it. So it's temporarily, I'm going to go buy another box of laminated flooring and do it right. But my outlet here has always stuck out about a half an inch. This one down here is flush with the wall, but this one down here has always stuck out, and there's only an inch and a half between the drywall and the concrete. I didn't put this wall up, or I would have used 2x4s flattened out. That's probably what they use, but anyway, I have to buy a smaller outlet box. That way it's flush with the wall. And so, anyway, my floor is looking, I put the baseboards down within the last day or so, but my floor looks great. And I can come down here to my clocks without falling in it. And I made those 3 stands. Well, 2 of them I already had one made. I modified the other one. So hopefully I'll start getting my stuff repaired. And the back door, and I would call it, I don't know, laminate, or I don't know, whatever this wood is, this thin layer of wood. It's got a date on it, and it shows 8/67, which is kind of funny, because my other sister, Margie, who now lives in Colombia, I gave her and my older sister, Janelle, a clock, like I said, 4 years ago. Both a musical cuckoo clock. Margie was born in 1967, so maybe I should have gave her this one and gave Janelle the other one. But anyway, it's kind of funny, I think. Trying to adjust the gong so it's away from the wood. And that sounds a lot better than what it was. I told you that the coil was upside right and needed to be upside down. On this particular clock, you can get to the screw right there to tighten it up. So of course it has to be the way it's designed. You want to make sure that the minute hand doesn't touch it, but they're normally around the dial, about like that. You see the rabbit is got a curve in its back for the dial, and the quail sometimes is curved to go around the horn. Now the bellows need to be fairly tight in there, or if not, after a while, the way they're designed, the wires are going to push them around. And this bellow is loose, and it's because the screw hole is worn out. And what you can do, take a toothpick, stick it in that hole, and break the toothpick off. And then put your screw in and it'll tighten up, because the screw is going to make that toothpick expand into the hole. I'm just using a bamboo skewer instead of a toothpick, so it might take me a little bit to get this thing started, so stand by. I'm down at my last toothpick, and when you put the toothpick in, it'll go all the way through the bellow, and then you break it off. And then you start the screw, and it's going to expand that toothpick to allow you to tighten up that screw. And it's already getting tight. And then of course you don't want to over tighten it, but now the bellow's nice and tight in there. And because I put the the eye bolt in the front, I have to adjust this this lever here, because you want this bellow to close all the way, and as you can see, it's not closing all the way. And all you have to do is you really want to grab this set, the high note lever, with one set of pliers, and then with another set of pliers bend it. You want to hold it to the left with one set of pliers, and then with another set of pliers grab a hold of it to the right and bend it, and then test it to see what happens. Nothing happened, and that's because this wire is actually too short now, because the tab that catches the 8-point star wheel is straight up in the air, which is no big deal. All you have to do is adjust it. Using two sets of pliers again. Now the tab is right there at the 8-point star wheel, and I need to put another slight bend in it, which will drop that lever all the way and close that bellow. So now the wires are touching each other, no big deal. The high note bellow is opening too much, so now I have to bend that lever, the arm that lifts up that wire, down some to ensure it doesn't open all the way. Again, just minor adjustments, and I'm going to do that off camera. I show this and how to make a wire for your bellows. I got the wire disconnected from the high note lift arm. And as you can see where the high note lift arm loop is right now, it's way up here in the air, and the loop for the wire is way down here. And you want to have pressure on the chain when you do this, because if you don't, this wire could be wherever. And so with the wire off, I just need to bend this wire to where it meets that wire, and now it's pretty dang close. And so I should be able to connect it, and it make noise. Closing the loop on the high note lift wire. I got a bend in the thing. Still not properly adjusted, and that's because this lever is not dropping, and it's because the wire is actually too short for this task now. It could be done. You just gotta mess with it to get it right where it needs to be. I bent it up too much. It's opening the bellow too much. Anyway, I'm going to adjust this some more off camera. To get out my eyes to just figure out what the problem was, and I'll discuss it now. You'll see the low note high lever. The arm that connects to the bellow wire and the tab that comes off the 8-point star wheel, they're in line with each other. Now you see the high note lift lever? The tab that comes off the 8-point star wheel is right here, and the wire is 1/4 of the way away from it. So once I fix that, it should be good to go. Now you should be able to see that the wire that hits the 8-point star wheel and the lever that connects to the bellow wire are lined up parallel with each other. So now, as I was saying before, you just connect the wire to the bellow and then drop it, and there it almost lines up perfectly. So I just need to connect it to the high note lift arm, and it should work. The clock is sitting over there to the side. Even I have bad days. So you have to take a break, or when you get frustrated, or you're gonna break things. So if things don't go your way, walk away from it for a little bit. Think about it, come back to it, and it should click. Doing what I said I didn't want to do, and I ended up putting the wire behind the bellow, and that's because the wire in front of the bellow kept interfering with the music box because they're big bellows and it's a small clock. But it now cuckoos. So I'm gonna put the weights on, put it on a test stand or on my wall, and see how it runs. Here the clock's been ticking for an hour or so now, and I changed out the V wire, I changed out the U wire, I changed out the pendulum leader wire, and I could not get this thing to tick, even though it's been running for several years, 4 years at their house. And the only issue is the foot was at an angle. So make sure your foot is nice and flat like that. Anyway, the clock's been running. I hope y'all enjoy this video. My sister would be happy when I give it back to her. So give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments. May God bless each and every one of you.